Hi guys, this is Jen here. Today I'm going to do part 5 of my series, Keeping an Organized and Clutter-Free Kitchen. I'm going to show you how I organize my recipe books and cookbooks, my spices and vinegars and oils, and everything that I'm going to show you is in this cabinet right here above my stove, so I'll give you a closer look. And before I get started, if you happen to miss any of the previous videos on keeping it an organized and clutter-free kitchen, I'm going to link those in the description box. So if you want to check those out, they'll be right there. Okay, so this is my cabinet right above my stove, and I like to keep my recipe books, spices, oils, and vinegars right here so that I can easily access everything while I'm cooking. And I will just zoom in closer so I can show you everything while I explain it. Now these are my recipe books and my recipe binders, and I did a whole video on how I keep my recipes in this binder, and I will link that below in the description box because I explain that really well. But basically in these two binders I have all of my recipes that are ones that I've created and ones that I found online that I like, and I keep things for my menu planning in here. But like I said, I explained that really well in my recipe binder video, so I'll link that below. And I used to have a ton of recipe books and cookbooks and everything, and cooking magazines, and they filled up, you know, probably to like right here. So I had a ton. And I had a magazine rack that was full of cooking magazines that I got. I had a couple subscriptions to those, and I found that most things you can find online now, so I don't get cooking magazines anymore, and they just took up a lot of room. So I went through those and got rid of those, and I got rid of a lot of my cookbooks because I didn't really use them. And I can, like I said, just access things online. So I really went through and just got rid of those things. I did keep a couple because I like looking through them and looking at the pictures and things like that and reading the things in there. And then I have a slow cooker recipe book that has tons of slow cooker recipes in it, and I haven't tried very many of them, so I kept that one, and just some different ones that I did want to keep. So I would suggest just kind of going through your cookbooks and seeing if you really need them still. And then if you do keep your cooking magazines, you can easily use a magazine holder to keep those in. So I just like to keep that organized so that, you know, things aren't all over the place. And then I have my spices, and I used to use the raised shelves, but things would always fall off and I didn't have enough room, and I really love this. I found this at Bed Bath & Beyond, and they have all different sizes, and I think they have one, I'm not sure, but I think they have one with 3 levels, but that wouldn't fit in here, obviously. But these are really nice because they have a little lip here, so nothing falls off. Even if you spin it fast, nothing will fall off. And they have like a rubber, let me take one of these down so I can show you. They have like a kind of like a rubber grip here so that things don't slide around, so they stay in place. And don't mind my older cabinets. They're clean, but you know, they're really old, so. Okay. I am trying to do this through the camera, so it's hard. Okay, so let me just explain how I organize my spices on here, and everyone has their own way. I don't personally like to buy the individual bottles or glass jars or whatever for my spices. I just keep them in what they come in because I didn't want to spend the extra money, honestly, to buy all the different jars, and I'm always buying new spices because I like to cook. And then, you know, you could run into the problem if you buy a bunch of jars and then later, a couple years down the road, and you have more spices. Well, what if you can't find those same jars? And also I don't like, because some of these spices come in pretty good sized jars or containers, and what if there wasn't enough room? Well, where do I keep the extra spice? And it just is a lot easier for me personally to just keep them right in the container, and they're labeled and everything so I can find them. Now I don't stick to one brand, so I don't I kind of like them to look a little bit neat, so I don't, you know, alphabetize them or anything. I keep the larger ones on the bottom, and these are from Aldi, these large ones, and then a few of the smaller ones are down there too. But basically the way I organize them is I keep things that I would use together, like oregano, basil, and Italian seasoning I would use for like spaghetti sauce or, you know, Italian kind of food. And then over here I have like chili powder, cumin, red pepper flakes, so more, you know, spicier things, and paprikas there also. And then I keep garlic powder, garlic salt, minced onion, and I actually need to get some onion powder, but I would keep that right in there too. So just like things together, and then I can easily find them. And these I can stack up a couple. And when I am starting to run low and say I want to get another one of these, like I'm starting to run low on garlic powder, and I'll probably pick up another one soon so that I don't run out, I will just keep the extra behind it, or you can keep it in the pantry, but it's just nice to have that extra one right behind it, and that way I know I've already purchased an extra one and I don't need to buy another one. And then on the top I have you know, different jars, and again I just try to keep like things together, and I tried to kind of keep the same jars together. So I just have, you know, rosemary, thyme, marjoram, sage, and stuff like that together, and you know, you get the basic idea. So that's basically how I do it, and I can easily find things on here. You might want to do yours alphabetically, and that would of course be fine, but that's just how I do it. And then in the middle I just have some extra fresh ground pepper and a couple extra things that I barely use in there because they wouldn't fit on the outside. But this just works really nicely, and I think this was maybe like $14 or something like that at Bed Bath & Beyond, and then, you know, they always have great coupons like 20% off and stuff, so that works really well for me. And over here I have this turntable for my olive oil and vinegars that I use a lot, and so I just have that, and I can easily find what I need. And I actually ran out of canola oil, but I would just keep that right in the middle because it's big and I can just grab it out of there. And you know, you might have more oils and things, but I just keep the ones that I use all the time in here. So they're really easy. I can just spin this around while I am cooking. And then over here I just have my jars of taco seasoning and ranch dressing mix in these jars. So that's how I organize that, and this works really well for me, and I like that when I open the cabinet it's nice and clean and organized, and I can easily grab what I need. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you have some great tips on how you organize your recipe books, spices, oils, and things like that. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, How Jen Does It. Thanks for watching.